Hi, my name is Erin Gordon, and I'm here with Knovva Academy. Today, we are meeting with the Model G20 alumni, Noah Bronstein, and it is his sixth and final Model G20 summit. Hi, Noah.
Hello,
How's it going today?
doing pretty good. Thank you.
Great, great. Well, we did just start with your name. So could you please tell me where you're from and what country you represented from this previous Model G20?
Sure thing. I reside in Belmont, California, which is just about a half an hour drive from the great city of San Francisco. And at this recent summit, I represented the country of Argentina.
Fantastic. Very nice. What's one fun fact about you?
One fun fact about me is that I love to travel, and I've been fortunate to have traveled all over the world with my family. And this summer, we'll be taking a trip out to Japan. And while we're there, we're going to be planning to go to Disneyland, which will be the last Disneyland in the world that we haven't been to yet.
Wow, congratulations. That's very exciting.
Thank you.
I was going to ask you, what was your maybe favorite country you visited so far?
I think the favorite country of mine that I have visited probably was Italy, just for the mix of everything that I saw, the people I met, the food, just really kind of checked off a whole bunch of boxes and was a place that I really wanted to go to for quite some time.
Absolutely. Yes, we can all aspire to living la dolce vita. So awesome. Well, I hope you have a great time in Japan. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Thank you.
So, can you tell me what's something you're known for among your friends?
One thing that I'm known for among my friends is that I'm a huge sports fan. So the two sports of mine that I follow super closely are baseball and basketball. I really enjoy the San Francisco Giants, the Golden State Warriors, and the Miami Heat just because I have some family in Florida and I really like the players that are on that team. One of my uncles is also a fan of that team as well. So it just gives me something else to talk about with my uncle. And when I'm not busy with school or my extracurriculars, I'm definitely dedicated to watching as many games among those teams that I possibly can.
Excellent. And how did you first get interested in climate change?
Right. So in 2020, when COVID-19 hit the world, that's when I was really invested in paying full attention to the news. And really, since that point, I really have been so much more aware with how climate change affects countries around the world. And for example, as I live in California, everything from just a prolonged, terrible drought to devastating fires, and a day where I woke up and the sky was all orange, just
Oh my
due to how
goodness.
bad the fires were and the degrading air quality. So just really seeing firsthand a lot of these deeply concerning events and signs, just even right outside my house, really got me a lot more interested and definitely a lot more active in trying to figure out what can be done at all levels, locally, at the state level, and at the national level to address these issues.
Mm, absolutely. So your concern is not so much reading about something in a paper, it's very much close to home.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I can understand. So you've participated in Model G20 a number of times at this point. How did you first hear about the summit and what made you first decide to register?
Yeah, so a while ago, maybe a year or so, I had heard about Nova's Model G20 conferences and their summits and at my school. And it was something that I really wanted to check out. I was just looking for something at the time, something new to try, and wanted to jump outside of my comfort zone a little bit. So after attending my first summit, I absolutely loved it and never looked back since.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm glad to hear that. What was your favorite part about this summit?
So I would say that my favorite part about this summit, yet again, was just getting to meet new people, to develop new friendships. I would want to start by acknowledging just the amazing job that the Nova staff did every single time at every in each one of the summits that I participated in. They really did a great job every time, ensuring that each summit ran smoothly, and they helped me to enjoy each and every summit. There's really nothing like what Knovva Academy offers. It's really cool to meet and work with like-minded young people from all over the world. And I still have been able to stay in touch with some friends that I've made, as far back as the first summit that I attended. And I really do think that people who attend these summits have the power to change the world.
That's so great to hear. And it sounds like that's something that is really near and dear to your heart, particularly as you mentioned, you love to travel. So maybe that aspect of meeting new people from around the world kind of goes hand in hand with that.
For sure.
Yeah. So since you've been involved with Knovva Academy and Model G20 for a few years, can you tell me what maybe your initial impressions were of the summit and kind of going up to this point? Have there been any skills you feel like you've developed over that time?
Oh, completely. I definitely feel like, not just improving as a leader, but definitely as a person from having participated in 6 of these summits. This time around as the head of state, it was challenging at times to work through, components like time zone differences or communicating with my group. But it definitely served as a reminder for me to be more cognizant and aware of, working at a slower pace and checking in with my delegation members. Providing them help and just doing everything that I personally could to make this experience less stressful for them. I also feel like myself, I really improved at working fast and keeping calm under pressure, whether it was preparing for the head of state ministerial meetings, the country roundtable meetings, or our country's final presentation. It really could have been super easy for me at many times to get, caught up in, the challenges or feeling frustrated or stressed. But trying hard all the time to keep things under control. And I think I did as best as I could.
Yes, you did. And you did a great speech too. So we were always feeling very impressed by your like say leadership and also the ability to manage the team and stay on top of the goal. So very
Thank
nice
you.
work. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So of course you were just telling me about some of these kind of early concerns about climate change and things that you also just witnessed in your own life. So based on those kind of originating ideas on climate change, did they ever evolve or change completely during the summit?
I would say not really coming into the summit, just because every time I've participated in a Nova summit, you kind of never really know what you're going to get or what you're walking into just because you're a different country delegation every single time. And it's
Mhm.
really important that you take the time to do your research and to understand everything that you possibly can about the country that you're representing. And I would say that once I really took the time to sit down, research and learn all that I needed to about the country of Argentina, I was really able to lock in and work with my country delegation to come up with ideas, to formulate multilateral and bilateral policies, and just working with the other heads of states from other countries as well. So again, after a little while, I was definitely able to kind of hit a groove and to get my ideas going, and they came to fruition.
Fantastic. Now, as of today, what do you think is one policy change, or maybe possible, let's say, goal that you have in mind that you think would help resolve climate change?
Yeah, definitely. I think when I think about this question, I would start by telling you that one thing I learned really early on in this summit is that it's very hard to implement policy and to make change if people in a country aren't aware or if they're not educated about, what is it that needs to change. And I actually had a conversation with a friend of mine who is from Argentina, which was after day 1 of the summit, and he told me on the phone call that I had with him that for example, Argentina's rivers are like very polluted, and the country of Argentina doesn't have recycling bins like we have here in the U.S. We see them at our schools and just public places, and that's why I would say stronger education from the earliest point on, like in elementary school, middle schools, really can hopefully allow young people to become much more well versed in climate change and taking care of their environments and their communities local to them, and what role they can play, and what is their part, that they can do to help make a difference.
That's awesome. I definitely agree with you there. Now, do you think that you will get involved with other leadership opportunities in the future?
I would say yes. I have always greatly appreciated community service and leadership with my parents, who are both teachers. My dad was a former mayor, so it was really instilled in me and in my siblings from a really early age, always to be civically engaged and involved, active with leadership. And I really love any chance that I possibly can to, serve my community. And at this time, I'm just not sure how busy I'll be with college, but I'll still definitely make sure, regardless of what school I attend, to find some way to be involved with leadership.
Excellent. And now I think I remember from a previous interview you had done with Knovva, you had mentioned that perhaps a goal or a dream job you had was to get into broadcast media. I was going to ask, are you still kind of considering that route, or do you think you have maybe another dream or, particular kind of industry that you'd like to get into in the future?
Yeah, I would definitely still say that that is like the dream goal and the thing that I'd be working towards. I actually just finished up all my college applications not too long ago, working on scholarships and applying to just a variety of schools for, a broadcast journalism major, a communications or public relations major. And I've always, told people that for the longest time, I've really been interested in current events. I really do care about, my community, aspiring to create positive change. But it really is important for people to know, what is occurring in the world around them. And, I spend a great deal of time watching news programs and discussing the news with my friends. So ultimately, I think my dream job someday would be to be a broadcast journalist. And if it ever got to a successful point, I'd love to take over David Muir's role at the desk for ABC World News tonight.
Fabulous. Well, hopefully we'll see you on TV. That's great. Very exciting. Well,
Thank you.
awesome. We definitely think you have a great presentation style, so I think you're well on your way.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. Well, perfect, Noah. I just have one more question for you. So if you could give one piece of advice to a future Model G20 student, what would you tell them?
Yeah, I would actually say, in a piece of advice, to do what you're afraid to do. And I only say that just because, I remember back to my first Model G20 summit. And I remember at the time, I was a freshman in high school. I was, naive, didn't feel like I had a voice yet. But as I kept sticking through, and participating in each and every summit, flash forward to this year, I'm a senior in high school, leading a group of 10 young people from all over the world, with the head of state role. Knovva Academy truly changed me and my life, I think, for the better. My confidence grew, so did my curiosity to learn, to ask questions, to take risks. And I'll end by saying that the times where I felt most uncomfortable, whether it was feeling shy or stressed, or whether I was happy, ecstatic, and proud, I always learned a lesson during each and every part of the 6 summits. And I grew not just a lot as a person, but as a leader. And for those who haven't yet participated in an MG20 conference, you'll definitely grow as well.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, thank you. That's all great advice. I'm sure that will definitely serve someone well in the future. So
Thank
thank
you.
you again. Well, I really appreciate your time, Noah. Best of luck with your college applications. Hopefully you get into a school that you love and keep in touch with us.
Of course. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.